So great. So thank you for joining. So my name is Alexis Despero. So actually, I will be the today presenter, and the title of this lab will be reverse engineering your manual test to automate new test design. So I will just start. Here we are. So if you have any connection issue, audio issue, please just send me a question in the chat box, or if you have really some big trouble, then we can always reschedule this lab in live with you. So please feel free to contact me at the end of the presentation. So about the agenda, we will have a technical overview. So I will try to do it in 10 minutes, maybe a bit more. And after that, I will have an interactive demo. So again, the goal here is you can ask some questions. So we'll do everything from scratch. So really, if you have any question, please just send it in the chat, and I can see it. So I have a double screen. So I will try to answer all your questions. And at the end, if we still have some time left, then we'll still have this Q&A session. And the goal is, of course, to answer all your questions again. So great. So let's start. So just to remember, I want to again repeat the previous webinar that I have done. So what we do, so basically we do model-based testing and test automation and execution. So we have the two in a tool called Conformiq 360. So basically, the goal of this webinar is how can we reuse our existing test cases and assets to automate new test design. So when we talk about test design, it's also about MBT in general. So well, we have two tools. The first one is Conformiq Transformer. So inside Conformiq Transformer, you can already inside Conformiq Transformer import some manual test cases, some existing assets, and directly inside Transformer, you will have your test suite or your test case, and you can after that automate inside Transformer. But what we can also do, and the demo will be really around that, is how can we reuse our existing assets to produce better test cases and more test cases. So for that, we'll use Conformiq Creator. So Conformiq Creator is really the modeling part in Conformiq 360. So what I will do is I will import some manual test cases written in Excel. We will go through that. After that, I will show you how to import it. I will describe a bit the model to just show you what is inside the model. I will also show you how to do some modification in the model. And after that, what I will do is I will generate some test cases, test documentation also. I will upload that if you want inside ALM. And at the end, I will push it inside Transformer, do the automation and the execution. So it's really an end-to-end demo, and it's what you will see today. So if you want to see some specific thing, again, you have a chat box, and I can see all your questions in live. So our real goal is to address all your, I would say, major testing issues. So when we test, we need to really target these three big gaps. The first one is to design test cases fast enough for in-sprint progression testing. So how can we produce some tests faster? And it's what I will show you today. Another point is we want to enable continuous test execution during the development sprint. So how can we do that? How can we generate some tests, and after that, how can the test can be executed directly after the generation? Well, I will answer also this question in the lab. And another point is when we integrate this kind of tool in an existing environment, we have some big trouble. I mean, usually we have some big trouble by connecting to XYZ tool, and how can we solve this problem? And also, I will show you that during the lab. I will show you the integration we have with requirement management, with all your assets that you can use, all the testing framework that you can use. So this is what I will try to show you. So we want also to fill in pieces of testing. So how can we automate execution of existing manual test cases? So you need to know that we can import all your manual test cases already in the tool, and it's what I will show you. So if you have, I will say, Excel files, then we can import it and create some test cases. We can recreate a model from that. Also, I don't know if you are using Gherkin, but we can import some Gherkin scripts. We can also import some Visio diagram and all that, and generate some test cases from it. So it's really what we do, and we don't do only that. We don't only produce tests. We also will give you some, I would say, some information about the test coverage, because, well, when you work with MBT, with some test generation tool like us, well, it's not really important to know how many test cases you have, because the tool can produce hundreds and hundreds of test cases. It's really not a problem for the tool. So the big question is, how can we have a better coverage? So we will give you some statistics about your coverage, and this is something new that you can bring to your manager. For example, I cover X% of my model, I cover X% of my system, and all that now can be, I will say, can be shown in with this test coverage. We produce also test documentation and traceability. Always the goal is all the manual steps that you were doing can now be done automatically. Another point is about the user interface to integrate new testing tools. So again, our goal is to be integrated with your existing tool. So how can we do that? Well, we are based on Eclipse, so we'll have some connection with your requirement management, with, again, your framework, with everything that you have, and the real goal for us is to be integrated with that. So, okay. First, about the integration. So about the integration, we have a couple of integration here. So about the requirement management, so I don't know which one you are using, but it's just some example that we have. So we can, of course, import some requirements from HP, Ready, IBM, cPine, Microsoft. Well, what you have, we can import. Excel file also, it's not here, but if you have, I would say, an Excel file with all your requirements, it's something that we can do. About your existing assets, so the goal of this lab is really to talk about that. So my demo will be around Excel, manual import of Excel test cases. But you need to know that if you are using Tricentis, we can import all the test cases. I would say all the record from Tricentis, we can import that. If you are using Visio, we can import that. Cucumber, Selenium scan, all that we can import. So really, if you have some information that you want to reuse, it's really something that that we should definitely talk together. After that, about the documentation, you have a model, you have some test cases, we can produce any kind of documentation you want. And when I said any kind of documentation, this really means that we can generate Excel file, we can generate PDF, HTML, in any language you want. So if you speak French, German, English, well, it's not a problem. About test management, so if you are using a test management system, we will push all the test suites inside your test management system. It's not a problem. And after that, around the automatic test execution. So the demo will be with Selenium, but you need to know that it's not a problem to generate some scripts for any kind of language you want. I mean, I have a demo for eggplants, for example, for mobile testing and desktop testing. I have also some demo with QTP. Well, really, we can generate any kind of script you want. And if you have a custom language, it's something also that we can do. About repository, so we are connected with Git, SVN, it's not a problem, and everything is, of course, all our tool is connected to all of that. Quick overview about the tool itself. So Conformiq 360 is the two green box that you have in the middle. It's Creator plus Transformer. So in Creator, what you will do, you can import the requirement management. You can import some requirement from your requirement management. So you will add that inside your model. The model itself can be done from scratch inside the tool, or you can reuse assets. Again, it's the goal of this lab. It could be Visio, Excel, Gherkin, well, what you have. We create the model, and after that, we generate some test cases. We will try to optimize also the test cases. When the test suite is done, We will send it back to the test management if you have one. And after that, you can, I would say, do the automation inside Transformer and automate that inside Transformer and execute that inside Transformer. So again, so about the requirement management in this demo, it will be HPALM 12.2, if I remember. And about the reusing asset, it will be, again, some Excel file. About Transformer, so what I will do, I will show you how to automate inside Transformer with Selenium. So when we do reverse engineering, so the reverse engineering part is really how can we convert your existing assets, your manual test inside a model. This is reverse engineering. So we'll do some optimization at the same time. So we'll try to reduce all the redundant tests. So we'll try to merge all the steps. We'll try really to optimize all your manual tests in a model. We'll we'll do some subset elimination. So it's what I was saying. I will say, if one, for example, you want to connect to a specific URL in every test cases, you do that, and we will eliminate this step. We'll have only one step in the model, of course, and after that, this will say expand in the model to cover all the other part of the test case. So we'll really do all that keyword identification. So this is something really important. I mean, we will use your test cases. You will not, I will say, need really to do some modification in your test cases. The tool will try to do this, I will say, text recognition directly in your natural language. So you will really try to identify some keywords, some data, and all that during the import. You will see that. And after that, of course, the MBT test generation. So we import, we create a model. So you will have a model with all your test cases in one. So the thing is, if you have some loops, if the tool can create some loops, you will have better test cases. And after that, what you can do, the next step could be, I want to upgrade my model. This is something that you can do really easily inside the tool. And I will also show you that how can I upgrade my model, how can I change some information in my model to really cover, I will say, better my my system on the test and better my requirements. So 3 steps. The first one will be I import the model. After that, I import the test cases. I create the model. This is the step number 1. The step number 2 will be I want to generate some tests. So it will be exactly the same thing that you've seen in the previous lab. So again, I will click on button. That's it. It's really simple. And after that, step number 3 is I will automate and execute, and you will see that it's really, really easy with this approach. So what we eliminate, we want to eliminate all the manual steps. So I think you know the slides. So we really want to automate all the design and the maintenance of your test cases. We want to reduce and optimize all your test case, all your set of test cases. We want to write automatically all the executable test scripts. Well, we'll do all that automatically, and it's what I really want to show you today. So really, I hope that you will see all of that in my demonstration. And if you want to see something specific during the demo, something that it's not here, really just ask the question in the chat, and I will answer your question. So let's jump in the tool. I don't want to spend so much time in some slides. So let's start. So first, what I want to show you is I want to show you the manual, I will say the manual test cases. So the manual test cases is pretty simple. It's an Excel file. It's exactly like that. So I think you have probably some Excel files or some test cases written like that in your company. So while you have your test case number, after that here you have your test case name, you have a description of your test cases, your step name, test description with the data here between quotes. And after that you have some expected results. So well, this is the information that we need to generate some test cases. So you need to know that if it's something a bit different in your formats, then you have some option inside the tool to say, for example, that the expected result is maybe in the in the column called E, and the test description is in the column F or something like that. Well, it's pretty flexible, and it's something that we can do. About the data must be in code. Of course, this can be customized if needed, but well, this is how we work for now. And this is I would say manual test that I want to import. So again, I have actually two test cases. Here we are, and now we'll from that create a model. So the first thing is I will open now Conformiq creator. So this is this one. And what I will do now is I will create a project. So I have two different type of project. I will create a creator project because I want directly to generate a model, because after that I want to do some change. Here we are. So I will write a nice name, and I will create an empty project. Here we are. So what you can see now is I have an empty DC, Conformiq option. Everything is completely empty in my project. So the first thing is I will now import my manual test cases. So I will go in Conformiq. I will select import Excel manual test. And after that, I will select my file. Just want to stop a couple of seconds here is all the importer we have. So actually, I'm using an older creator release. The new creator release have been out now since Monday. So and we have much more import. So if you download it, then you will have much more import available. So okay, so I want to import the Excel manual test. I will click on next. Here we are. And now what I will do is I will just browse my Excel file. So it's pretty simple. I just go in my here we are in this one. I will select my ESD manual test. So it's this one. I click on open. And after that, now I have all this option that I was talking about. So we have a couple of possibility to import. The first thing is if I want to separate all my test cases in different activity diagram, or if I want to merge all my test cases in one activity diagram. So for the demo, I will just merge everything in one activity diagram. After that, about now the configuration, well, in the new version, it's much more easier than just a number. But basically, what you have, you will just write the test case name. So the information that you have here on column 1, you will just select in a text box here in a drop box the name, and that's it. After that, the decision conversion. So in the manual test, we have some decision in it. So what I will do is I want to create a decision based on the data when it's possible. So it's the option that I will select. If I don't want to have decision, but I just want to have some events, then I can just basically check this this other option. So that's it. That's it for the manual import. Now I will click on finish. Now I have this pop-up. So in this pop-up, I will give you some statistics about the optimization done during the import. So you can see that we have a couple of statistics. We have reduced some steps for the input and all that. The verification also have been reduced a bit. And basically, from the manual test, we have reduced around 43% of all test cases. Now we have optimized 43% of all the test cases in one model. Here we are. So now I have in my lab, I have all the information. So I have this DC, I have everything. I have a couple of statistics again. Here we are. And now what I want to do is I want just, to check my activity diagram. So my activity diagram is based again on the beginning and an end. Here we are. And after that, between what I have all my test step coming from the manual test cases. So I have the URL application, the URL. Here we are. I will go in modeling. It's better. So you remember the URL in my application. Here we are. It was this one, esd.conformiq.com. Then you can find it again in the property view. have a verification. Again, we send something, we check, because it was written inside the manual test, and it's exactly the same everywhere. After that, I have some condition itself. So I have some condition based on if the user will send the correct or incorrect quantity. So I have a condition based on that. If it's the correct quantity in value, then I will go here, and if it's not, then I will just go here. And after that, I have another I have another action just to do the checkout. Well, it's pretty basic. Again, it's based on the keyword itself. It's based on the manual test, but I think you have a global idea. Something that I don't like, and the tool cannot choose it for us, it's the naming here. I have a parameter called parameter 1 and another parameter called parameter 2. So we have no information of that inside my test cases. Well, I don't have any information, so the tool cannot find it. So what I can do is I can rename this parameter and have something a bit more understandable for the testers. I will come back to change all that in the structure diagram. So the structure diagram is really the interface of your SUT. And during the import, I have created all this information, all these steps. And now what I want to do, what I can do, is I can come here. For example, when I want to enter a parameter and a quantity, I have a parameter 1 and a parameter 2. If I want to change the name, it will be really easy. I just, rename it. If I remember, it's SKU here, and on this one, it's quantity. After that, I save. And what you will see now in the problem tab is, I will just correct. Here we are. I will have a couple of warnings. Here we are, because now the tool is asking me, do you want to impact everything inside the model? So it's pretty easy. I just do a quick fix. I select everything. I click on finish. Here we are. And now everything is impacted. So you can see here now I have a parameter called SKU and another parameter called quantity. So it's nice and clean. If I want to upgrade this model, if I want to add some other step, well, it's pretty easy. I will create another activity diagram. And after that, I will continue the modeling. So this is how we create a model from manual test cases. Again, from this manual test cases, we have created this model. You can do some modification, so it's not a problem if you want to change some naming and all that, then you just change it in the activity diagram. If now you want to add some requirement in it, because why not? So it's pretty easy. We will just link a requirement provider in it. So we'll use this QC ALM requirement provider. Here we are. Now we'll just configure a bit the requirement provider. So I will just come and copy paste the location. The username for me will be sysadmin. Here we are. And the password will be this one. Now I can check that the connection is done. I will select domain name. I will select my project. I will select the requirement folder. So I will select this one. And I will click on OK. Now I come in my requirement tab. The first thing is I will import all my requirements. Now it's done. And after that, I can drag and drop the requirement in it. So this is something really cool because in the manual test, we had absolutely no requirement in it. Now you can really add your requirements inside the tool. The thing is, again, something really important is at this step, when the requirement is linked inside your model, we will always keep the traceability of the requirements between now the model, the test cases that you will generate, and the test script and all that will always keep the traceability. So the start link, I can, and that's it. I will just add another requirement just for fun here. So I will save everything. Now the requirement is linked inside my model. And now what I can do is I can generate some test cases. Okay, so great. So now I have everything done. And now I want to generate my test cases. I have actually 0% coverage of my model. And the first thing is I want to load my model. So the load model will really check the model if everything is okay, if the data is correct. And then when it's done, you see I have a couple of requirements here. I have also some information about the activity diagram and the conditional branching. I have already all that. Like in my previous demonstration, I generate the test, so it's exactly the same. So what we will do is we will generate all the tests. So you can see we can regenerate really the two tests. Well, it was a really sample. It was a really sample example here. But if you have much more, then we can probably generate a bit more test cases, or sometimes a bit less, but more optimized. This is something that we can do, and everything is in live. So I have now this two test cases with some nice name. You can see because we have reused the naming that we had before. Well, not exactly. We have now some better naming. Great. So now I have all my test cases. Now I want to review my test cases. So I come now in this test review. I have my two test cases. So I can see that I want to test this one called avoid ESD checkout. Here we are, pretty nice. So I come here, I go through my test cases, and after that, I just close and I just quit my my test cases. I have some information here. When I click on it, on all this link, I can see where the stimulation is done inside my model. If I want to have some information about the data, again, I can expand and I will see all the data here. Same for the ESD2. You can see that now I have changed a bit, and that's it. So you can see also some requirements inside my test case diagram. It's pretty nice. It's pretty simple. It's straightforward. You can see I spent only a couple of seconds by doing that. So it's really fast to do. Okay, so now I have everything. I want to generate some test cases. I want to generate some test documentation because, well, I don't really like this this view here. So I want to have a better view with maybe better description and all that. So I will just add this Excel scripter. I will add also this CTA XML scripter just, for the automation after that. And what I will do is I will maybe export everything inside ALM. Here we are. So now in the DC, I have my free scripting backend. And I will just configure my QC ALM scripter. So I will just copy paste the name. Here we are. The username is this one. Give me 2 seconds. Everything is in live. Like that, you can really see that it's really, really simple. I hope it's correct. And well, now I will generate everything. So everything is in live. So the tool is actually generating all the Excel file. Now it's already done. And now he's uploading everything inside inside the ALM. It's look like it's working, so it's great. So I will show you the Excel file. So it's not this one. It's this one. So now you have some statistics. So something that you did not have before, you have now some statistics about the requirement coverage, because in the previous file, we did not have any requirements. You have some statistics about the covering, about the diagram, the condition, and all that. I did not said, but now if you want to have more data inside your condition, you can have all your data. Now you can connect some database and all that, so you can really improve all that. You can really improve your two test cases by generating some other data and all that. It's really something that now it can be done by importing and creating some model. So yes, I come back in my manual test. So I have now all these test cases. I have my two test cases, you remember. So now it's in another format with some nice summary. You can see with some test case name. That's it. If you want to do some manual testing like before, you can. But of course, the goal will be to enrich your model with more data and more, I would say, information to have something else. But if you want to just automate, if you just want to keep the import and just want to automate, then it's the next step. I will now go in Transformer. But before, I want to show you the import inside inside ALM. Here we are. It's this one. You remember my 2 test cases. It's this one with the design steps and the requirement coverage, something that you did not have before. So you have now all this information, and well, you saw that it was really, really fast to do it. So imagine with 100 test cases, it's the same time. I mean, if you don't change something inside your model, it will be the same time. It will be a couple of seconds, that's it, maybe minutes. Okay, great. Next step, I want to automate. So the automation at this step will be really done now inside Transformer. Well, I will just add maybe something because I don't know if you're interested by Transformer only. I will show you something else. If we want to generate another script, another language, and if I don't want to use Transformer, then what I will do, I will just select the scripting language I want. So if you are using some of them, then it's good. If you are using another language, just send me a mail. And after that, I can check internally if we have something. We have a lot of different scripters, not productized. So it's why it's not bundled with the tool, actually. But we have a lot of good and different scripters internally. So I can just, for the demo, just use GUnit scripters. So I will just add this one. I export all the test cases. Again. And now the tool will generate all the scripting backend. And he will generate for me the GUnit scripter. So I'm sorry, but I need to re-import and check that the import inside ALM is still good. So it's done. And now if you want to see the GUnit script, you will see everything here. Everything is already generated, and you can see that I have all my test case, test case information. You have all the code. You have everything here. So you can really take that, execute it on GUnit. The only thing to say and to change will be the harness code, because actually on this step, we don't know how the object is done, how the action is done on your SUT. So if the object, I don't know, click on start, it's this one. We don't know the object name, we don't know all that. So you need to add some information in the harness code, and that's it. So it's why we have done a transformer. So Transformer is really here to help you to configure all that. And like that, you don't need to know how to code or how to maintain this harness code. It's why Transformer is here. But it was just some more information. So great. So now we'll jump inside Transformer. So I will create now an empty project for Transformer. Lab Transformer. I click on finish. So I still have no question in the QA chat. Really, if you have any question, just send me. I will be happy to answer all your questions. Oh, lab. Okay. So now I have my my new project, and now I will import the test cases generated by Conformiq creator. So I'll come here. I can use this import CTA XML. Here we are, browse. It's lab CTA XML, and it's this one. Okay, so you can really see that it's the correct time. I think it's more this one. And now I'm importing everything. Here we are. Now the import is done, and what you can see in it, what you can see now in my project, you can see that I have now some keywords. Everything come from the model. Everything come from the test generation. What I can see is I can see also my test suite with my 2 test cases. You remember my 2 test cases. And already I can start thinking about the automation. So I can say, okay, I want to execute it on Chrome. And that's it. I mean, it's pretty easy. If I want to now see my test cases, I can click on the test cases. I can see all the keywords. You can see again the requirements. Here we are. And the data on the right. So if you want to add now a new data set, then it's easy. You click on the button and you just add the data set. That's it. It's really easy, really simple again. All that is based on the Selenium framework. Okay, so if I open now this perform enter URL action, I click on the Selenium tab. And what I can do if I want, I can do the, I will say the little, I will say configuration myself. So I want to open the URL. So it will be http esd.conformiq.com. That's it. If I want, I can do it manually. If you want to really, I will say, add this all this information manually, you can. If you want to create your own function, complex function, then you will link your library directly inside this keyword library, and that's it. Now we can imagine that you don't want to write because, well, you are a beginner in Selenium and you don't want to code one single line, or you don't want to think about it when you work with Selenium or QTP. It's the same. So I will now go on this click on start link. I will come back in Selenium. And what I want to do is I want to launch this UI inspector. So I will just open my application. So you remember my yellow system on the test. So now if I want to click on the start spelling, I will just do a right click, copy automation step. I come back and I paste. Everything is done automatically. It's really simple. If I want to do another action, it's really, really, really simple. After that, when it's done, then I just save everything. We can imagine, I don't know if you want to see, I will say, if you don't want to see me automate all of the steps, but well, you have the example. So you know how to click on the start, you know how to go in the URL. So you can see it's really simple. The launch UI inspector. So yes, I will maybe describe a bit more about that. So the launch UI inspector, you have different locator type. You have this AD locator type, name, XPath, absolute XPath, really like you want. And after that, the tool will give you everything for the locator type you choose. Really simple. Again, you don't need to write one single line of code of Selenium script or QTP script. It's really, really simple with Transformer. Great. So, well, on my test cases, I've already automated these 2 keywords. Okay, so go on the URL, and after that, I want to click on the start action. I will not do the verify because, well, I don't need. And now I want to execute. So if I want to execute my 2 test cases, I open the suite, I click on run. And after that, what I will do is I will select the automation tool. So I can select Selenium or QTP. So what I will do is I will select Selenium. If I want to do parallel execution, then I can. If I want to do just one by one, I will just do that. And after that, I will click on run. So again, everything is in live. First execution done, and second execution done. That's it. So now I have executed my 2 test cases, my 2, I will say, manual test cases before. I have already done all the automation. Now I can still start to execute. If I want to check everything, I can open my test cases. Here we are. So you remember I have automated open browser, and I have also automated this click, so it's why it's passed. And the rest, because for now it's the automation step is not covered, then it's skipped. That's it. I have all this information, all the statistics, it's already done. What I can do is I can send it back to my requirement management. So for that, I will just do, export. I will select export test to HP, to test management tool, sorry. And after that, I can send it back to HP, ALM, or QC. So this is what we do for an end-to-end demo when we do manual testing. So again, you can see that it's really, really, really simple to do all that, to reuse all this reusing assets. So we have still a bit of time. I want to show you how we can import now some Gherkin file to do BDD. So I will just, come back in the modeling part. If you still have no question around the automation, I will just jump on that. I will continue if I see no question. So if you have any question, again, just ask. So file, new, project. Here we are. So I will select a creator project. Again, an empty project. I don't know if you know BDD, so I will just show you the file itself. So the file itself is this one. Give me 2 seconds. Here we are. It's on the other screen. Here we are. So this is BDD. So what we import is we import some scenario. So the scenario is, I will say, when you have some special keywords in the language. And after that, we can import everything inside the model. So you have some BDD script, you have some Gherkin file like that. So what we can do exactly the same. We can import. After that, what you will do, you will just click on import Gherkin file. Here we are. It's not this one. It's this one. Next. Browse. So now you will select your Gherkin file. Again, same as before. You want to create some decision or events when we have some data. It's your choice. I will just select default. That's it. I click on finish. So you have some statistics here. You click on OK. And now what you have some nice model. Here we are. And after that, based on that, again, it's exactly the same. What you can do, you can regenerate some test cases. You can generate some test cases. You can link to this new model, to all the new model. What you can do, you can link again your requirements. You can do all that. And after that, when it's done, it's the same thing. You generate the test documentation. You generate the test automation part. And after that, what you do, you execute. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Again, the goal here is to be connected with what you have. And again, really, we can import and do that with a lot of different projects. Like so Gherkin, we can reuse the QTP assets, all the Selenium assets you have. I don't know if you use Tricentis, but we can do a lot of things with that also. Regenerate some Tricentis scripts. Visio diagram, if you are doing web services, it's exactly the same. We can really reuse a lot of different existing assets, and the concept behind it's exactly the same. You have something, you import, you create a model from that, we create everything. After that, you click on the button, we generate the test, you automate, and you execute. It's pretty simple. It's straightforward again, and this is what we do. So, well, for me, it's done. So I have been through all the demonstrations. So again, beginning, creation of the model by reusing some existing assets, test generation. Now about the test review, it's done. Test automation also, it was so automated with Selenium. The execution was done directly inside Transformer with Selenium, and so you saw the report and all that. So now you know how to reuse your existing assets. You know how to work with Conformiq, how to modify your model to generate better test cases and a better test suite, and to do the automation. So now it's time for the questions. So thank you for listening. Again, you have a question chat normally on your screen. So please, I'm here really to help you and to answer all your questions. So please feel free to ask some questions. So if I remember, it's on the top right or top left. You have a button for a question to ask some questions. So I had a question in a private message. It's strange. Around how long it takes to become a proficient user. So to do that, it's pretty simple. I mean, to learn how to use the tool, how to create a model and really use the tool in detail. With Transformer, it's less than 3 days. Usually it's 2 days. And the last day, what we do, we start modeling with you, with your requirement, with all that. So I would say 3 days, but it's usually less. It's really simple to use the language. It's really simple to learn the language. And now that we have all these reusing assets, it's easier for you also to jump directly inside this, I would say, this new way of working. So okay. So well, I will. I still have no question. So well, thank you for joining. I will. I will close. I will close that. If you have any question, if you have, I would say, more technical question that you want to answer after this webinar, again, you can contact me at sales@conformiq.com. I think you have my name also, Alexis Desperoux. So you can write me directly at alexis.desperoux@conformiq.com. And I will. It will be a pleasure for me to give you another full demonstration, talk with you about the next steps, and all that. Again, thank you very much for joining. It was a pleasure for me to give this webinar. And well, I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you very much.